Good morning, dear all. Today we are going to start with a new concept called as Jdbc, Java Database Connectivity. Let us start with a simple example. Say, let us start with a simple example. Say I stay at Pune and I know the languages English, Hindi and Marathi. And there is one place, say XYZ place, which is at a remote distance from Pune. And I came to know about the fact that at XYZ place, I can get diamonds at a very cheaper rate, say 100 rupees per diamond. And I need to purchase these diamonds. Now, there are some problems in purchasing these diamonds. The first problem is that I speak the language, say English, Hindi, and Marathi, and the people at XYZ place, the language which they speak is totally different. I don't know that language. The next thing is that there is no transportation mechanism in between Pune and XYZ place. So I cannot communicate with these people, but I need to purchase those diamonds. So, what are the remedies over it? The first thing is I need a translator. So translator is such a agent which can speak the language which I can speak, as well as he can understand the languages at the XYZ place. So the translator can communicate both with me as well as the people from the XYZ place. So he can convey our messages to each other. The second problem was that I was not having any transport mechanism. So say, assume that I will build a path. I will build a road in between Pune and that XYZ place so that I can have the transportation mechanism. Now, after the road is established, what I need a vehicle which will be running on the road. So I'll get a vehicle, and in this vehicle I'm going to put my requirements. Currently my requirement is that I want to purchase 100 diamonds. So I'll put that requirement in that vehicle, and that vehicle will be transported to the XYZ place. When the vehicle reaches to the XYZ place, the people from the XYZ place, they are going to get my requirement from the vehicle along with money, of course, and they are going to process that requirement, and they will prepare 100 diamonds in a box. They will put 100 diamonds in a box. Say that box is a result. Okay. Now that box will be placed in the vehicle, and vehicle will be transported back to Pune where I can get my 100 diamonds. Is it clear with all of you? So, what is this simple example? I'll repeat again. See, I am at Pune. Okay. I speak English, Hindi and Marathi. These are the three languages. I came to know about a place which is called as a XYZ place where diamonds are very cheap, say 100 rupees per diamond, and I want to purchase 100 diamonds. But the problem is that the language which these particular people speak is not known to me, and the language which I speak is not known to them. So I need a translator. So we will have a translator. Translator can translate my requirements into the language which these people understand, and translator can translate their contents into the language which I can understand. After that, we need to establish the road between Pune to XYZ place, as there are no transport mechanism. Then we will have the vehicle where I am going to put my requirements. Currently my requirement is 100 diamonds. Then the vehicle will be transported to the XYZ place where the people will get my requirement, process my requirement, and put the 100 diamonds into a box, say a result, and that box will be kept in the vehicle which will be transported back to me at Pune and I will get my diamonds. So this is a very simple example. Now you will say, what is the relation of this example with JDBC? But I try to follow always the convention from known to unknown. Now we know this particular example, we have seen this. Now we will try to map this example with the concept of JDBC in Java. Now let us check out how it works in JDBC terminology. So my place Pune is nothing but a Java application, okay, and the XYZ place is nothing but a database. Now Java application wants to communicate with your database, but Java application cannot communicate with the database directly. Why? Because what the language Java application speaks and what the language database speaks are totally different. They don't know each other's language, so they cannot communicate directly. So we have to establish the communication mechanism in between them, and that mechanism is possible with the help of JDBC API. API is Application Programming Interface, Java Database Connectivity API. So whatever we have talked about, it is nothing but the part of JDBC API. So a very first thing is Java application cannot communicate with database. Database cannot communicate with Java application. So we need a translator. In this case, driver software is a translator. Okay, the driver software is our translator. So there are many types of database. So we have the Oracle database, we have the MySQL database, we have the Access database. For every type of database, there is a different driver, there is a different translator. Okay, so translator in our example will become a driver software in JDBC. Now the second step is that we need to establish the road. So here we need to establish a connection between a Java application and the database application. Okay, so the connection interface we are going to use, we are going to create a connection object. Next, we require to put our requirements in the vehicle. The requirements are nothing but the statement interface in the JDBC. So that is, the requirements are put in a statement object. Now these requirements will be carried to the database. Database will take those requirements, process those requirements, and then create the output and put it in a box called as a result set. Result set is our next interface of JDBC which we are going to use. Now result set will be the output of our query. Requirement represent our query and result set is the output of our query. Now the output will be carried back to the Java application. We can process the output. So I hope you have understood this, how the JDBC API works. What are the different objects? So I repeat once again, we have a Java application, we have a database. Java application needs to communicate with the database, but Java application cannot communicate with the database because of language is not compatible. So we need a translator. So first step is that we need a translator. That means we need to set the driver. Second step is that we need a connection. We have to establish the connection between the Java application and the database. Third step is that we need to create our requirement using the statement object. This is our query, what we want from the database. So it is a statement object. The next is that statement will be transported to the database. Database will process it and prepare the output and put it in the result set. The result set will be transported back to the Java application and Java application can process the result. So this is how the JDBC is going to work. So what are the important concepts we have seen over here from the point of view of JDBC are driver. Driver is nothing but our translator. Connection between the Java application and the database. Connection is nothing but our road. Statement represents the query, it represents our requirement, and result set is nothing but the output of query, the data which actually need. So these are the four important objects and interfaces we are going to see. So now talking in terms of more technical stuff. So how to connect a Java application to the database. So as we have talked that we will require connection, we will require the driver, we will require statement, and we will require the result set. How to code it now? So there are 5 crucial steps to connect a Java application to the database. As I told you, database can be your Oracle database can be your MySQL database, it can be Access. For every type of database, different type of driver are needed. Every type of database comes with its own type of driver. Now we will see the crucial 5 steps for the connection. The very first step is register the driver class. That means register with your translator. So we need to register with the driver class. The second step is we need to create the connection. We need to establish the road. We need to create the connection. Third step is that we need to create the statements. We need to create our query, what we need to extract from the database. Fourth step is that execute that query. When the query will be reached to the database is going to process it, database is going to execute it. So execute the query. And the fifth step is close the connection. Once my job is over, I can close the connection, I can close the road. So these are the 5 crucial steps you will be requiring to connect your Java application to the database. So we will see each step in detail now. So our first step is register the driver class, means register your translator. So for this particular step, the forName method of class is used. Okay. Now all of you know that Java comes with a standard class called as class. So Java has class as a class. It is a standard class. It contains one method called as a forName method. This method is used to register the driver class. Now the syntax is public static void forName. Check out, this is a public and static method. As it is static method, it should be called with the class. It has one parameter, that is a class name, and it throws the class not found exception. Now this method is used to dynamically load the driver class. So the syntax for this particular method we have seen, and the example to register the Oracle driver class is like this: class.forName. Check out, we are going to call this method with the help of the class. Okay, the class name and not the object name. It is a static method. So class.forName, and here we are going to write down the class name: oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle_driver. As in this case our database is Oracle, the driver will be Oracle driver. Okay, so this particular string you have to pass to the forName. Now since JDBC 4.0, explicitly registering the driver is optional. Okay, so Java has taken care of that. There is no need to write down this particular call this particular method, because Java provides it. Okay, so as per our example, I am giving you this method that we are going to register for the driver class. We are going to add the translator. Now moving to the second point. The second point is nothing but create the connection object. Okay, now we have registered the driver class. Second is we need to establish the road. We need to create the connection object. The get connection method of driver manager class is used to establish the connection with the database. Now check out, there is a driver manager class in the JDBC API. Okay, this class contains one method called as get connection method, and this get connection method is used to establish the connection with the database